Oh, here we go. Hotkeys. Minus and equal. Where is it you're saving to? Output. Recording. Product 3. Oh, okay. Was this today? Okay, good. That did work. Oh, okay. So. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm recording. Do you have basically cheats on?
Yes.
Okay.
Streams in 6 minutes. GG.
What?
I have a stream in 6 minutes.
Okay, well. Here's how to play Borneo. Start out on defense. You wanna have your sniper somewhere in this realm. Usually it's gonna start off by, this is called, usually we call this Jello in tree. Your demo will be somewhere over here to start off. Your heavy will be somewhere over here. Remember, this crack shot does exist for most snipers, coming from that way or from your side. He can crack shot through this. Your med should be inside the building, usually at all times around here or here. This is where your dispenser will be. Your gun will be either somewhere over here, here, or near main, or like right here. You don't want to have a box gun. I'll explain that later. And your spy's doing whatever. So the whole point of this is you need, again, all of your entire combo to live. So your demo might have some early, it's like 6 on cart or spam early, but he needs to back up quick because there's a really good sight lines from both the right and main, and they'll kill him instantly. So a lot of time your demo will be playing a bit more back over like in this realm, or he may be rotating over towards main to get some spam onto the cart. But it's really dangerous for demo to peek this because there's a lot of sight lines on this map. That goes with the rest of your combo as well. The only people who can be like dying like a ton would be your flank and maybe your spy. Your flank will be holding over in house. Usually your soldier and scout will be holding house with your sniper and your jello to hard skip it, and your spy to call where they're going. So if you lose your flank, it's no big deal. That just gives their combo some space there. If their flank does die or seems to die, your sniper should back up accordingly, because then he can just hard skip this right side and kill them. But all you do is just, the way you win first is just, you hold, all you live, your entire combo needs to live plus your NG and Pyro. Your Pyro will be around this realm too with your Medic and Heavy just in between. And you wait for them to exchange. Now the way you win this exchange is, if you make them to use first, usually if you peek like through main or aggressively through here, and you can get them to force, because this is a really good spam angle for your demo, then you can have a good first hold, because once you get them to use, you can back up, back into warehouse as back as need be, and then once the Uber fades, then you can all stuff in through any of the 2 chokes. Usually I like to repush through the main cart like rails over here because it's better for me, and the spam angles are a bit better, and your soldier can do a high bomb if needed. But you can go through any of those chokes, whichever one's faster for you. And then after that, the reason teams trade is because once both Ubers are gone, it's kind of really easy to push Borneo first, because there might not be a gun and there's no Ubers. So all their team has to do is play aggressively up here and lock this out, and then go on cart. So the way you just counter this is, if the majority of you live, then try to keep holding, but don't play aggressively. You can have your demo stick off cart, because at this point what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to push from any of these 2 chokes, and if you have everyone up, then you should still be able to do that. At any point though, if it looks like you're going to lose, try to get back up your combo early, because second's a really good hold for Borneo. A lot of times medics will go through drop down, because if they go through here, they have to peek 1, 2, they have to peek twice into 4 sight lines. They have all this and all this, which is a ton of beams and stuff to get clipped by. So a lot of times medics will just hug this right wall and jump through here, because at least they have like a 1-second chance of being hit by 2 sight lines instead of like a 5-second chance of getting hit by 4 sight lines. So if we assume that your combo gets through to warehouse, and this is a good hold, the standard hold is to have your demo play on this ramp a lot, kind of like Lakeside, where he's gonna have traps blocking this off, and you might spam over the cart right here. He needs to be aware of 2 sight lines. Mostly the sniper's gonna be sitting here. If you die here, then he's overextended, and the sniper might clip you from here, but it's really, really, really rare. Your NG will have a gun in this realm with your heavy, and your pyro, and your soldier may play up here. This is a really common spot for like plat soldiers. to set up on one of these beams. You can get onto any part of this up top, which is, they can spam in a drop down. Your scout will be over roaming over here. Your scout just be roaming, I'll say, the entire time between all the way from drop down to all the way through under, checking for NDs or spies. And your medic will be usually playing over here, somewhere in this realm. Over here, between here. One thing to note as medic is there's a little clip shot you can get through this triangle right here. If the sniper is watching, the way you counter this is one strat that Tater 171 Gunners made, is that he put a dispenser right here that made it so that if the sniper did shoot through this crack shot, it would hit the dispenser, not the medic. That's just one little needle trick you can do. You don't really have to, but keep that in mind that if your med does cross here, your legs can be clipped and dropped. So a lot of times meds will hold back here and not cross. If your med holds back here, your pyro needs to be a bit more passive, or your heavy, to make sure that spies and soldiers won't come around the bend, because this is really easy to drop a medic reinforcement from. Most of the way you play exchanges on here is that once their combo pushes, a lot of times the combos have to push through tracks, because pushing through here simply isn't just feasible against a demo who has this locked off all the time. If they exchange through here, then you guys just kite the back up and you do the same thing. You always have to live during this. If they Uber through tracks, it's a little bit different. Depending on how good the Uber is, you may need to rotate back outside of corn and meet them here. Or if it's a bad Uber and they start running, you can bot through corn. Or if they get back early, then you can Uber through here. If they're still able to be catched. But if you try to chase and they're already out through gates or this doorway, you're not going to get them. So if they use, a lot of times you won't have to unless they get into your medic, because your med is really safe in this shack. But if you can catch them out, or if they go really deep with the Uber, then you can exchange, because then they're going to be locked in over at these tracks max, and you can just rape them all. They're going to be getting your gun every time before the push if they do it correctly, so you need to make sure all of your teams keep in mind that you're not going to have a gun as a fallback for that. In the event that you lose second, usually it's pretty drastic, because then you'll be holding third with a disadvantage. Third is one of those interesting points though, where you have two holds. You have a forward and you have a passive hold. People say the same for second, where teams will hold up and up top and do a box gun. I'll explain on offense why that is not feasible at all. Any questions, BM, in the meantime? Okay.
Should we ever hold here, actually?
Where's here?
Where you're going to, behind you.
Right here? Okay, so this is a passive second hold. So this is a good backup where if your combo like dies or rotates out of here, and then something like happens, like if there are a lot of their combo dies or the med drops, a lot of times you'll see this push here where you can't cross over here because of a sniper danger or you're down something, but you can still milk some. So the way you do this is either your gun can be in any upper or lower. It doesn't really matter. Most of the time it's upper, but if it's upper, it's a bit easier to be spammed out because of arcs from demo and soldiers. A lot of time what you'll see is you'll have the majority of the combo clumped here, so like you have your NG over here, your heavy may be playing close to over here, or be holding right here if anyone peeks this cliff. A lot of times maybe you'll have like one person out over here to where corn is, like scout or soldier, and then your demo can be either over here spamming this, or a lot of times what I like to do is just rotate up top and play in here, because these arcs will hit the cart, and you can always stick these signs off. So that's just the passive hold. That's if like it's not looking good, but then something instantaneous happens, like your soldier bomb, the sniper like gets something, and it puts you now at an advantage, but you can't cross immediately because maybe their sniper is still alive or their combo is still up. So if your combo starts backing up, but then you get like their sniper and their medic, then you can go back in. But a lot of times this is a really dangerous sideline, because you're crossing through 2 or 3 sidelines between these two, because the sniper is gonna be back over there. But this can buy you a lot of time. Usually if you have like spawns, you'll go back to here if your combo calls it and you think that you can milk a bit more. This is usually just to milk off like 20, 30 more seconds before you rotate. So once you lose second, the rotates will happen through here the entire time. And if you have an ad, or if they'll like a lot of them die, you can do a more forward third hold, where you sit up top here. And this is really self-explanatory. Most of the time what they're gonna do is they're gonna send their sniper and like their flank over to cart to counter you. If you play back, you can still counter this, but eventually they're going to be flooding their combo through here, so traps above this doorway and through these doorways will help against that. You're not going to be staying here for more than like a minute, though, most likely a minute max. So you want to have your players rotate out as fast as possible to these doorways, because if any of you get caught out here, this is really easy to get caught out, because if you're too slow to rotate, your demo can put 6 here, and this will juggle you because this roof will hit you, bounce you off, so you just keep getting bounced, slam on the ground and on the roof, and that'll kill all of you. You want to make sure you can forward hold there and buy some time, but you don't overdo it. Don't overdo your stay. Make sure you get up back to third, because third is the second best hold in this map, which compared to Borneo Last, which is a beast in itself, her third hold is really good if you know how to do it. So the standard third hold is you'll have a gun somewhere in this realm. Dispenser will be up here, or over here. Keep in mind that this crack does exist, and yes, damage can go through it. You can shoot bullets and splash damage does go through this. Be aware of that if your med stands on that corner. Spies will like to decloak on this little lamp right here. The stock hold is that your demo will stick off right side and watch this, and your flank will be holding top left, and your heavy and pyro will be somewhere in between. The thing to watch out for demo is demo's gonna be rotating between left and right side a lot to help. Like when your spy calls what side their combo goes, your demo will rotate the same. So if their combo is called left side, then your demo will hold left side. And this is really easy to hold as demo because the arc is like made for this, and it's really easy to trap it. Same thing with right side. These are both chokes. This is a really great hold for your demo. One thing you need to keep in mind though is that snipers will always sit back here, and it's really easy for them to kill your demo. So especially right here, this snipers can get you through the little area in between these boxes and the little lamp, which can kill anyone. Like anyone that walks up and knows this area can die to the sniper. So this sniper calls when you're defending on third is really crucial to success. So the way you win this is, again, once they exchange, you try to stuff them, and on third you're not gonna be able to milk as much because they can get to you really easily. Like if they all they do is just bot you. So if they bot through here, you're probably gonna get forced because your demo is probably gonna get cut out. If they bot through here, you have a little bit more leniency because now they have to walk up a longer distance, and you have, it's not height advantage, but you have the ability to knock them to lower ground because of this hole, and they have to peek this corner, and your pyro can stuff them really well. Like if they use them through top left, and your pyro's alive, he can air blast them, and that's gonna bring him to this bottom floor, and you don't have to use it all. That's basically the extent of not having to use on third. Keep this strat in mind though, because a lot of teams don't do this, even in invite. So the whole objective is to keep your combo up, especially for this. If you can keep your gun up, if your NG knows how to do some sort of combinations with the Wrangler and Rescue Ranger to keep it up, that's really good because the guns on here are really good. A lot of times teams will inch through cart, so especially during Ubers, so make sure if your gun is down, make sure someone's dedicated to that cart, usually the soldier, because the soldier's going to be the first one to see their combo back up. The combo bot in through left, so he should back up and try to focus cart during this. Scout during this time is there's not a lot of roaming you can do at all, so usually you'll be setting left sided through soldier. If not chasing a spy that's cold or something, there's not a lot there's a lot of room you have to work with because this is just one huge choke warehouse and you can't go past that or you're gonna die. Third hole, if you win this exchange, you just keep rinsing and repeating for a long time. It's really easy to have really good holds on third because of just how solid it is and how easy it is to win the exchanges. If they use and then you use, you can chase them back in because now they have to escape through both these chokes and they'll just wipe a lot if you just play these trades well, then you can win all of them because you'll have a 2-second better Uber minimum and you can lock them out the chokes once they escape. Eventually, if you do lose third though, depending on how your spawns work, you can have a passive third hold. The passive third hold is where you just watch the cart here. This usually happens where if your NG and your pyro go down, or you have a mix of combination of players that go down, but it's not super drastic, so 2 or 3 players that are semi-important go down, like your pyro or NG, then your combo can leave through right side and then do a passive third hold. This is self-explanatory. Your sniper will be usually up here if he's alive and trying to hard scope right side with your soldier and scout. To make sure that if their combo does go right side, they're eating a lot of damage, they're either taken care of, forced, or they're at least called, because this is really easy for their combo to bot through here while you're trying to hold cart. Nevertheless, the remainder of your combo's job is to make sure no one touches this cart. Your demo can stick it up, your heavy can be holding close, you can have a sentry gun up here sometimes. I've seen sentry guns up on top of here, but that's a little bit, tellies go up here a lot on defense, so on offense you need to watch for that, but for defense that's really good for your flankers. So they will get this cap eventually. All they do is send if they send their heavy and pyro and a lot of people that can air blast their stickies off and tank, they're gonna get this cap eventually, so just be ready to back up. Depending on where your combo holds, your combo will be holding up here, but you're a bit more susceptible to sightlines. A lot of times combos will hold right here if they're backing up. The default hold's holding really close to the cart though. So once the cart gets capped, you usually have some time to back up. Usually it's the best to rotate through right side because there's less sniper sidelines and there's more chokes for your demo to trap while he backs up. And that leads us to the monster, which is defense last on Borneo. So this is probably one of the most infamous last in the game, maybe besides Badwater. It's not even that it's really good. It's just it's hard for people to win posts on here because you're playing at a constant disadvantage, constant height disadvantage, and you basically have to wipe them to win. It's kind of like Badwater, but Badwater's is still worse. So the default hold you'll be having for defense is your gun will be on top of here. I've never really ever seen it anywhere besides on top of these barrels because it's just so much wrangling spots you can do. Your dispenser will be in this realm. Your heavy and pyro will be somewhere in this realm, except for specific holds, which I'll tell you about. Your medic will be with your combo. Your soldier and scout will be holding left side. They'll usually be playing alternate to where the combo's holding, but 99% of the time your soldier and scout will be holding left side. And your sniper will be somewhere up top. Usually he'll be around these boxes, because he has a little bit of a crack shot over here and here, and he can crouch above these. A lot of times snipers will like to hold hallway if their combo's holding right side, so your sniper can just rotate a lot. And he has a lot of freedom because this gun, and it's really small here with your pyro. So the main two holds you have is there's usually one main hold when it comes to your combo, and that's the right hold. And the way this works is, for more advanced strats, your NG will put a telly right here, and he won't put an exit, or he might make this an exit, it doesn't really matter. But what that's gonna do is your heavy will be, instead of looking right here, your heavy will be watching this from it's kind of hard to get it precise with no clip, but he'll be able to see it right here when he stands up fully, because he's gonna be standing on this telly, and this is a really good crack shot for your heavy because he can just mow them through here, and it's from this perspective, because of how angling works, you can barely see him, if at all, from this perspective, because the angle is so sharp down here. Your demo will have this sticked up, and right side is usually where most of the time where their combos will be pushing into you. So having your combo stack this is a really good idea. That's a more super aggressive hold. The more standard hold for right side is your heavy and pyros around this corner, and your demos mainly the one that locks it off, because if anyone walks this corner as a demo, you can just stick them off, and they're either gonna have to jump out, die, or force. And so basically, right side's the general sock hold for combos, and it's gonna be really easy to do. A more different approach is to do a left hold. I've never really seen left holds happen. A lot of times if their combo is cold left side, then what you do is you have your combo rotate from right, and you'll leave someone like your heavy or demo. So if we say if your flank or your spy calls that their combo is coming left side, you'll leave your demo or your heavy. Most of the time you'll leave your demo right side because he can just solo hold this if he gets a buff, and you'll have your heavy and or pyro rotate left side, so that when they do come from left side, your combo can meet them there. And pushing from left side is not really it's a little bit better, but not really any better than pushing from right side, because again, they're dealing with a stark height disadvantage. They're dealing with a even higher height disadvantage on left side, because now if they walk up these entire stairs, your soldier can be spamming this with black box, your heavy can be chipping them, your pyro can be shooting flares or scorch shot and reflecting stuff. This is just really easy to deny, but a lot of times combos will resort to a left push if right isn't working. If you rotate your demo from right side and leave your heavy there, then that's just as good if your heavy has a telly, because he can watch that from the head glitch. And your demo has a really good spam angle from here, because these will hit the stairs and these will hit the pack, and this will do a lot of damage. One thing to note is that if your combo's holding right side, you need to watch for them to go left side, because if they go left side, a lot of times their sniper will be going left side, and from a sniper's perspective, seeing your entire combo is munchy, dude, because he can headshot your heavy for free, he can headshot your demo for free, and anyone that rotates your medic or pyro, they're on thin ice. But if they get their sniper here and he's safe when he's not getting pressured. The entirety of the time this happens, no matter if your combo's holding left or right side, they're going to be tapping cart. A lot of spies will do this, every spy that's good, that will just tap the cart the entire time on last, because it's so hard to get anything done on last because of all these corners, and it's a really small last, so pyros can check every crevice pretty easily. So most of the time when your combo's holding right side, it's the job of your combo to be watching both this right side and mid. Your gun will hit it, but not until it gets a bit closer, and your sniper... Where's the beams at? Is this the right version of Badwater? Or Borneo? No, this is okay. A little thing different is that this is a wrong version of Borneo. Everything still applies except on the normal version of Borneo that's used in like UGC and RGL. There's 2 pillars up here, so that kind of obstructs the view of the sniper and the NG, but same applies. A lot of times, if there's like a little like downtime from their combo pushing right side, you want to have your demo or your heavy like spamming the middle of it, so that if anyone tries to get on cart, it deters them. A lot of times they'll try to get like a sniper like god shot here or an NG or soldier peek this, and it's really easy to just like lock him here as demo. And if you're heavy, you can just chip him, make him back up. You need to be watching that the entire time because their spy can literally just inch the cart. Then because of these pillars, you can play like ring around the rosy on them. So he can just keep going back and forth on them and just. He can eventually just get the cap if you guys don't watch it. As for last, once your hold gets... The same thing applies where if they use him through right side, it's really easy to catch him off. If they use him through right side and they go hallway, you can have your pyro stuff that's really aggressively. If they go from right side and they go from here, which is a bit smarter, you'll probably have to use against this because if your pyro is still here, you're still gonna have to use for him. So if they go hallway, that's worse for them. If they go this right side, that's a smarter thing to do. And the way you stuff this is you have to Uber first on your pyro to deny them, and then get your pyro out and try to have the rest on your demo so that if they do leave through right side, they're gonna die, and if they leave through main, they're gonna die. One of the best pushes is usually from left side because if their combo clumps together and does a death ball on left side on your left side, which is this area, then they can kill your flank, and then what they can do is they can get a ton of free space on left side, and they can get their sniper here, as I said earlier, and then they can just do a full-on like rush into an exchange on the left side. You win this by your spy or flank calling it and getting your combo here early, because if they use, your pyro might be able to launch them off of this platform, but be aware that this railing does exist, so you kind of have to air blast at an angle. Your demo and soldier can still blast them off if they're alive, and the way you win this is if you launch their combo down during this Uber, then you'll probably win. Be aware that some teams like to play super aggressively still, so even if you lock off their Uber off this little area, they're still gonna play under, and they're gonna just try to spam you, then go to cart during that. And if they do that, you need to have a lot of focus on cart. If someone calls it their combo is still on ground, they're gonna be going back to cart while spamming you, so you need to watch out for them. Eventually, you might not even like lose last, but if you do, at the end of it, you'll probably have scattered spawns. You just go for some desperation plays. If you get spawned, just go to cart, and then that'll be the end of your defense. So for offense, I'll be answering. I think your leader said that they might do some forward second holds, which I'm assuming is box gun, and I'll explain how to counter that and why it's not really good. Deep box gun is really only good if it's against a team that doesn't know how to counter it. So start off with Borneo first when you're offending. Your demo and your soldier will be doing some sort of combination of sacks. A lot of time with your spy or sniper, the sacks are up to your demo and soldier. That's a whole team thing in specifics. I can't really tell you what people do because a lot of demos actually don't really sack on Borneo. And the reason demos only sack on Borneo is because demos can get really good spam. If they get up here for free and their soldier heavy isn't here, they can lock this off really, really well, and they'll either lock them off, kill them, or just do a bunch of damage. Be aware that if your demo does opt to do this instead of a sack, you might be banning your soldier a bit much, and your soldier might not be able to do anything. Or their heavy might be sitting up top here, and that can kill you. I've been killed by that a few times. A lot of times spies will also sit over here. This is a really good decloak spot for spy. I've used this, and it's had some pretty good success. Once you have one wave of sack waves, you want to try to exchange on Borneo as fast as possible, because the way you win first is via exchanges. So the way you do this is you'll be pushing from right side with your combo. Check for some traps, because there's some cheeky traps you can use to like drop your medic. Most of the time they'll be on these two spots. These are the most common spots with traps. You'll try to get your combo as much as possible. You want this Uber to be a solo as much as possible. So if you get your combo up to here, you're going to be Ubering around this corner on your demo. The gun will usually be right here, and once you kill that, then you can kill anything around that corner, and then you can rotate your combo back to over to cart, because cart's what matters. So again, you'll Uber your demo, try to get the gun and get the force, then you can back up if they use, and if they don't use, then you rotate back through here and try to get the force anyways. If they do use during that time, Then once their Uber fades and now it's post, what you'll be having is make sure you have cart time the entire time, and I would have someone, either your heavy or your demo, I like to have my heavy, to watch this doorway, and then you can tank your demo around this corner and do a lot of damage and lock them off so that your cart pushers can get as much time as possible without getting contested. And that's pretty much first in a nutshell. It's pretty swift if you know how to do it. Your sniper should be hard scope the entire time watching it. Your spy has a lot of opportunities to get backstabs while they try to back up. You just need to make sure your cart pushers don't die too fast and need to live for post, because post is how you win first. Post is how you win a lot of things and a lot of game modes. So this leads us to the question where, what if they do box hold? So if you cap first, box hold or box gun is where they have a gun on this box, and it's really hard to get because it can see you, but you can't really see it because half of it is obstructed, and their combo sets up there. The way you counter this is, what you do is you try to you do this something similar to first, where your demo kind of locks this off, or and your heavy will watch that, and you get cap time. So once you get the gun, your cart over here, you just keep traveling. You try to have a death ball around the cart, and you keep traveling and pushing the cart while having your combo lock off these chokes. Because if you lock off these chokes, they have to use to get through them. If they shoot your stickies, you just keep shooting stickies at them. They have to use to fight you on the cart, and at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the cart, because that's the objective. So if they do a box gun, you can just completely ignore them, and just all of you death ball cart, and just keep locking them off. Your combo, your demo, and your heavy will just keep locking them off and watching corners, while all of your team caps. And you'll be having a ×3 ×4 cap on this cart, so it's going to go pretty swiftly. And that's why box gun doesn't work. It's a really dumb way to say it, and you might not believe it now, but like, that's really how you counter box gun. You just ignore it and you just go past it, and you'll win. They're not gonna be as dumb as I say though. Like, if you stick it off, they're gonna like try to air blast you and shoot your stickies off. You just keep pushing it. Eventually, they're gonna have to use to fight you. And I've never really been in the position where I'm fighting from here. Like, your cart's gonna be over here, and they're gonna use them through here. If they do that, where they decide, oh wait, we have to use to fight this cart, then back up in any direction that you can. If your cart's over here and they use into you from house, back up towards their side. If they use, like, if your combo's over here and they just stick it off and they use through here, then try to back up through here. It's kind of dangerous doing this because they might have someone coming through here, but just know that you'll have the cap time instead. You have to have like some sort of thing set up where, like, maybe if they use through here, you can have your pyro stuff this, and then you can keep backing up. But a lot of times, if they use while in box gun spot, they'll back up to a corn hold, which is a more standard hold. So if they either do a box hold and they back up, or if they just go straight to a corn hold, this is how you're gonna push it. To start off, their sniper might be in one of these cheeky spots right here. You need to be aware of these because these are really, really good, and it's really hard to counter. One of them is right here, watches straight through main. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you can get on this ladder or not. You can. Again, those spots are absolutely insane. You need to be aware of these sidelines because medics have dropped to these for centuries. So initially what you'll do is you'll have cap time through here. Make sure your cart pushers try to stay on like the right of the cart, because their sniper is going to be watching through this side. So just try to like keep hugging the right side of the cart so the sniper can't see you as well. During this time, your combos will be walking through house, and this is where a lot of the stalemates happen, where combos don't know what to do. They don't know really how to push this. In my opinion, the best way to really do this is to take an exchange on a solo on your demo. Because if you can get through this first door, and if he deads, then what can happen is now your demo is in this position where he gets slammed down this hallway, and that will force their medic immediately, because that's going to hit all of them. And he can try to get as deep as possible. The only exception to this is with their pyro, and their pyro will deny you every single time. So the goal of this Uber is to Uber through here if they haven't debt sickies, or to debt as late as possible. Don't drop your demo and don't drop to milk it, but just use when you think it's appropriate. Try to get as deep as you can to at least force them or drop some of their players, and then once they force, then you can rotate your combo over to tracks while your combos are pushing. So then right now what you can do is your demo can either get the gun, or you can full commit off tracks if their gun's down and then lock them off here. A lot of times demos will shoot the gun down before they push, which is fine. Just be aware of the sniper sideline when you do that. So again, the way you push through here, force them, try to get some picks. If not, then rotate your combo track and try to get the gun. Now what we do for post is that if you got picks and you got the gun, if you got the gun and you got the force, then your combo can play aggressive and try to like lock this off. And if they're still in corn, and they try to back up, or if they've already backed up the corn, then your combo can go back through these stairs again, and then go through corn and take it from here. And then your combo will be coming from right side. Either of these ways, either the way you do it, just know that their combos now gonna be holding on the passive third hold, like we said, unless you wiped them. So the way you do this is, as long as you can get their combo out of corn, then your team can just deathball through tracks. During this time, your spy and or soldier scout will be hiding around this corridor, because this is really good for them to jump on them on. Because if your combo calls that their combos getting pushed out, then your flank pushers and your pick classes can definitely abuse this fact. Also, if your sniper's over here in main with your like NG or something, then you can be hard scoping these two corners, these two like openings, because these are really good for your sniper. But it's just as good for their sniper as yours, so you need to be aware that if their sniper is alive, he's really going to try to exploit the fact that you're going to be botting into his sideline by standing here. So, once you get him out of the corn, they'll most likely give it up. If they don't give it up and they hold this, then it's kind of an easy push from there. Your demo can spam up here, your demo can spam over here, or if your combo's over in corn, vice versa, you can sit behind here and spam it and hit with your sniper and try to just abuse them out. Most of the time that'll do it. If they really commit to it, then once you get the gun, your soldier can do a high bomb over onto this concrete or up top. And then you can just blow them from there. It's really easy to counter this push, and make sure you have card pushers the entire time. Once their combo holds up here, so if their combo holds up here in the first place, then you usually just go through tracks with your sniper, and you can fight them. During this time, if you have whether your card pushers and sniper is in tunnel, your combo can be fighting from here. Or, a lot of times, like, what I'll do is I'll just sit here and try to spam them. Don't walk into these stickies, but just spam them out, and that'll usually just pressure them. That's all you really need to pressure them out, because they realize how much of a threat it is to stay there. This isn't really a difficult thing to push. So now is third, which is the first beast of Borneo. The way you win this is you have to do everything together. So you need to make sure that you don't have anyone at all, or as few players die as possible before you push. Which really goes towards anything in this game. Beware for spies to decloak around here. This is really good for them. So the first thing you might try to do is try to peek left side. This is a good thing to try to do. To just peek it and see what's available. You want to get some intelligence before you can like really define a push. If you don't see a lot contesting left side, if you don't see sticks, if you don't see a pyro or a sniper watching it, then you can call to a push left side. But from what I've noticed, just in general, pushes from right are just much more successful, and you can get a lot more damage faster doing it. Right side will usually be a bit more contested by like a soldier up here. I've even seen snipers or demos play on the bottom here, which is a bit odd, but if you can get through this first doorway and pressure or kill their soldier, a lot of times you'll be able to kill their soldier. Make sure you check these corners, because spies or hiders like a pyro might be able to hide here. And then what you want to do is you want to either take a solo on your demo, or you want to take a solo with, or you want to take a pyro demo Uber. So initially you can go on your like demo, and this will immediately get a gun, and this is a really good spamming goal for your demo, because this can drop medics a lot of times, and it will, at the very least, it will force them if they're combo swing on the staircase, and they'll do a lot of damage. If you get all the damage and you get the gun, that's really all you could ask for. So you can have your pyro air blast them so you can get out. You can also have your pyro, when you Uber, be initially air blast, but I don't think that's really necessary. You solo on your demo around this corner and it'll do a lot of damage. After that, you can either jump off towards here, which is a bit risky, or you can just back up. A lot of times I won't do this, because whenever you get all this damage and the force in the gun, their combo is going to start backing up through this doorway. So usually with this right side Uber, you're going to go deep into them. So once you get the gun and you get the force, a lot of times if their combo does do this, then you can chase them if they start backing up, and then you can just lock this out. Because once you have control of upper, then all you have to do is just play cart. And the ones you play cart is once you have this warehouse, have your demo and you just like lock this off, heavy play it around the corner. And just make sure you get the actual third hold, because they might be doing a passive hold. The way you just win is just like inching that. So now you're on to last push, which is kind of iffy, and it's still kind of unknown to some people. So there's multiple pushes you can do. You do a left push, you do a main push or a right push. But the way you win this is just coordination. You have to make sure you have enough players for your post. You need to make sure that that gun gets sapped or taken down. But you want that gun to be sapped if at all possible. So from left side, if your combo's pushing, you need to be aware of this hallway. You need to be aware of a demo right here. You need to be aware of a heavy head glitch here. A lot of times if their sniper is not here, then you can spam off these players one at a time and try to make them back up. And like spam over here, because then that'll like spam their lockout. Like that'll spam their exit point. But a lot of teams struggle pushing left side because this is really hard to push if their sniper's hard scope here. The only way you can really win this is if their spy, if your spy is your sniper, which will not happen because it's a small blast, or if your sniper headshots your sniper. A lot of times because of this factor, your combo will be pushing your right side. And the way you push right side is you just make sure you gotta kill, you either kill or push their soldier and their flank out of right side first. A lot of times scouts will try to jump up and off this little platform right here because they think it's funny. If you can get your sniper towards over on right side, then that's really good because then you can polish out their combo if he's holding left. And then what you do is just like I said on defense, is your combo can usually just bomb rush his right side, and you can usually get the gun either before or during the push, but not a lot else is guaranteed because they're gonna use and they're gonna push you off this platform. But what you can do is if you do get the gun, and like I said earlier, and you do have cart presence, then when your combo gets airbuster push off here, then your combo can keep going underneath the bridge, and now with no gun, you can just keep spamming up with their combo and doing a lot of damage. And the way you win this is either by out DMing them or getting a ton of damage and making them collapse. Because if you get a lot of damage here and your soldier's alive, then your soldiers can come up from usually right side and just bomb and do a lot of damage and log this off. The way you basically have to wipe them on the last save win. That's a right push. A left push is if their sniper does die, and you pressure your combo out. Now you have presence on the left side. If their pyro is dead, then you can do a left push, but like a tunnel, like a hallway push. But most of the time, the best thing to do is if you do get left side, then to push from the little catwalk area. So you can start off by like spamming at their gun and try to get it down before the push. If not, then no worry. You'll Uber around this corner, and it's better for you because now you have this wall to hug if you get air blasted, and you have this little corner to save you. And you're really deep into their combo, so you're guaranteed a force. So you can get guaranteed a force. You can maybe get like a pick or two, like their NG, because they probably won't get flashed, and you can get the gun, and then you can back up. And the reason this is the best push you can do on last, in my opinion, because if you have everything set up for it, then you can get a lot of things guaranteed. As to where right side, you're not really guaranteed some of those picks. So once you get everything you want, you can either back up if some players of yours died, or if they have numbers, or if they don't have numbers and you got a lot of work with that Uber, then you can just have your combos keep playing up top here, and then you can lock off spawns and get the cap. Besides that, there's not a lot of things I can say to guarantee a win, because Borneo last is really hard like to push, just like Badwater. Some things to do is if you're in a stalemate, you can try to get your sniper into main, go for some like fun shots. Always going right side and getting your sniper to go right with you, and getting some touch on the combo is always good. A lot of it relies on your sniper. It's not even spy, because your spy will probably be inching card a lot, because it's really hard for spy to get in any position because it's a small last, but it just goes down to having upper control at the end of the post, because if you do, then you can lock off your spawns, and you just have to win the fights. Have any questions, you can post it in comments. My voice is dying now, I need to get some more water, so I'll see you guys later.